put out fires is now accused of starting some of them, and on top of that, he's a volunteer firefighter. Deputies say Jeremy Stepp burned several buildings in Lexington, including one right across the street from the West Lexington Fire Department. That's where he was a volunteer. Stepp is charged with burning other buildings and one count of second-degree arson. He's expected to be in court sometime next month. A toddler is found walking alone down a road, and tonight the child's parents are facing several serious charges. Investigators say someone spotted a 2-year-old walking on Hasty School Road in Thomasville yesterday morning. When officers went to the child's house, they found 2 people inside with drugs, and they didn't even know their child was gone. Jeremy and Melinda Billings are now charged with child abuse and drug charges. The child is now staying with a family member.
Well, in less than 4 hours, President Trump will make his first speech to a joint session of Congress.
This is a live look at the Capitol building. At the top of the agenda for President Trump's speech, strengthening borders and the military, as well as a plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act. Sally Kidd will have a live preview from our Washington newsroom in just a few minutes. But first, a look at state politics, where business leaders today work to try to convince lawmakers to get behind the latest effort to repeal House Bill 2.
It's known as HB 186. It has some bipartisan support. Question is, does it have enough right now? Bill O'Neill has the story now from Raleigh.
The latest repeal effort has run into trouble. The sticking point, HB 186, contains a referendum measure that allows communities to vote on LGBT rights in the future. For many Democrats, it's a deal breaker. But today, the chief sponsor of the latest repeal effort says he's willing to negotiate.
It is not a take it or leave it bill, and there are ways to address concerns. But you can't have that discussion with yourself.
Representative Chuck McGrady says he hasn't heard from the governor and right now doesn't have the votes. Business leaders grasping for a solution spoke at a news conference detailing the losses that continue to hurt North Carolina.
We have a problem in North Carolina and we need a solution.
In the last 3 months, we've seen about $140 million go outside our state.
The big losses are going to be coming down the road.
Our state simply cannot allow this opportunity to slip away.
The only triad Democrat to sponsor House Bill 186, Forsyth County Representative Ed Haynes, calls the bill a starting point.
What we're talking about is a negotiation, all right, and that's what this bill represents, a negotiation in the broad daylight. Now imagine that. The people have always said that they wanted transparency, and now they have an opportunity to look at a bill in the sunlight. So there's no more hiding.
Representative Haynes says he's not happy with any kind of discrimination, which is why he opposed HB 2 in the first place. He says that House Bill 186 is a starting point to help find a solution. In Raleigh, I'm Bill O'Neill, WXII 12 News.
Many students of the Triad's historically black colleges and universities are in Washington, D.C. They met this week with President Donald Trump. Dozens of leaders from HBCUs around the country are seeking policy changes and funding they hope will benefit their schools. The president is expected to sign an executive order to signal that he will make HBCUs a priority in his administration. Leaders from Winston-Salem State University, North Carolina A&T State University, and Bennett College met with the president. Education Secretary Betsy DeVos released a statement after the listening session with HBCUs, and many people on social media are talking about it. She praised schools for making, quote, tangible structural reforms that will allow students to reach their full potential. She went on to say, quote, they started from the fact that there were too many students in America who did not have equal access to education. They saw that the system wasn't working, that there was an absence of opportunity, so they took it upon themselves to provide the solution, end quote. Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill called the statement totally nuts. She tweeted, quote, DeVos pretending that establishment of historically black colleges was about choice, not racism, end quote.
Back to the president's big speech tonight now. It is set to begin at 9 o'clock. You can watch it live right here on WXII. Sally Kidd joins us now from the White House lawn, the nation's capital, with a look ahead. Sally, good evening. What can we expect?
Good evening, Kenny. A White House official says the president's message will be uplifting and unifying. At one point, he's going to be speaking directly to the middle class. He's also going to tout some of the progress that he's made and pitch his plans for addressing major challenges. President Trump says he's going to lay out a bold agenda tonight, his vision for fulfilling big campaign promises on health care, immigration, taxes, and jobs, telling Fox News Channel's Fox and Friends.
All I can do is speak from the heart and say what I want to do.
Republican leaders say they're expecting an optimistic message.
He certainly has proven himself a man of action. The Trump way is ahead of schedule, under budget.
But lawmakers are also eager for specifics.
I think he's got to unify his party on Obamacare repeal and replace, and tax reform. The party is very divided now.
Aides say he'll also talk about his economic agenda and budget priorities, including a massive increase in defense spending to be offset by deep cuts to domestic programs.
And he is going to challenge the Congress as an institution to stand up for the forgotten working men and women and not their own special interests.
Something Democrats are ready for.
President Trump will make a lot of promises to the American worker tonight. Senate Democrats are going to hold him accountable.
Democrats have invited immigrants, members of the LGBT community, and others impacted by the president's plans to fill the chamber gallery. Now, another thing to watch for tonight, this is, of course, traditionally a very formal, very serious speech. So will the president stick to script? Will he veer off message? He's known for making off-the-cuff comments. Live at the White House, Sally Kidd, WXII 12 News.
Sally, thank you very much. Another reminder again, it is at 9 o'clock tonight when President Trump gives his first joint address to Congress. Because of that speech tonight, there will not be a new episode of This Is Us. Instead, it will air 1 week from tonight, March 7th, still at 9 o'clock, right here on WXII.
Today is North Carolina Addiction Recovery Day, and Attorney General Josh Stein hosted his first discussion on opioid addiction on Facebook and Twitter. Now, it's part of a new weekly initiative to talk about the drug abuse crisis, raise awareness about the problem, and also give hope to recovering addicts. People are encouraged to post and tweet using the hashtag #OpioidSurvivor. WXII 12 News is also bringing attention to the opioid crisis right here in the Triad with our State of Addiction series. Tonight, Kimberly Van Scoy will take a look at some of the smallest victims. Doctors and nurses at Novant Health in Winston-Salem are helping newborns withdraw from drugs. It's called neonatal abstinence syndrome, and the program also teaches moms skills so that they can take their babies home. Kimberly Van Scoy takes a look at the decisions that could save a child's life tonight at 6 o'clock.
Looking ahead, a Triad family that knows the power of hope now wants to give hope to other families. Wesley Fischel was trampled by a bull earlier this month and nearly killed. His family says the South Stokes High School junior is recovering miraculously well. Wesley's mother says he needed a lot of blood after this accident, but now they're helping to organize a blood drive to help others.
While we were donors, we never really, thought about how much blood is used in such a traumatic situation. And this has just brought that more to light for us. And we would love for everyone to help give back to the community in this way, in honor of Wesley.
That blood drive is this Saturday at Morris Chapel Methodist Church in Walkertown. Begins at 10 in the morning, runs until 2:30. You can schedule an appointment as well on redcrossblood.org.
Well, Kenny, you had a pretty busy day today. You went to a school.
I had a fun day, absolutely. Went to Clemens Elementary School and read to some very well-behaved second graders. These are my new friends in Mrs. Michael, Mrs. Moore, and Ms. Martin's classes. I made them a deal. I said, look, if you sit quietly through Oh, the Places You'll Go, I'll put you on TV. And they were great. And then, wouldn't you know it, Mrs. Marshall, Mrs. Daniel, and Ms. Decato's second graders were just as attentive and just as polite. Lots of great questions and lots of fun for Read Across America Week. I told you I'd put you on TV. I don't break a deal.
Holding true to your promise. Yeah.
You like it?
I like that.
It makes me taller. Yeah, don't you think it makes me taller?
Fancy.
There's like a piece of paper in there.
Very nice.
This is cool. So you had me on Dr. Seuss Day.
Read Across America Day.
What did you read?
Well, I read a Dr. Seuss book. I also read this book called Terrific about this guy who's really pessimistic, and then by the end of the story, he's kind of turned life back the right way around. So that was a lot of fun. I was at Sandy Ridge Elementary School. Take a look at this shirt that they gave me. The Bulldogs there. You can see. Keep calm. Yeah. All right, go Bulldogs. We had a good time out there as well. Dr. Brad Rice is the superintendent for Stokes County Schools. If you don't recognize the name, he's the one who sings when they get out of school for snow. Do you remember that? The singing superintendent?
He was on our news like every day for a week in early January.
So he was out there today, and he read to the kids before me with a lot of sound effects. Boy, he is really good at that, and he said he's going to give me till March 15th to bring more snow, and then he figures he is in the clear. He doesn't have to do any singing there. Also want to thank bus driver Judy Dodson. She made me a chocolate pie. Oh, cannot wait. That might be dinner. I might not even wait for dessert. You can see all the kids there having a great time. And thanks for the hat, too. Makes me at least 7, 8, 9 inches taller, don't you think? Well, you know, out there today we had warm temperatures in the 70s, 72 in Greensboro, 74 in Lexington, and highs in the low 60s in Galax. We've been enjoying the warm weather some in the Weather Center. We're going to check in with Gina because, you know, she left here today in flip-flops, and Gina is out there enjoying the mild air. But I noticed you got a jacket on now, Gina.
I did have to throw the jacket on, and that's just because there's a little bit of a chill in the air, but still rocking the flip-flops, so it's just fine out here. Now, it is absolutely gorgeous. You can see the blue, beautiful weather throughout the month of February, tricking ourselves, tricking Mother Nature. We have had 70-degree, or one of those days was 80.
I know what it is, Gina. The weather equipment says, nope, we're taking the day off out there. We are not playing this. Let me run through the information she's going to share with you. A warm February, 11 70-plus days in the month of February. The previous record was 6 days for the entire month, 2011. Look what's happening, though. We're going to go up to 79 on Wednesday, and then the air cools right back down, 59 and 55 as we head into Thursday and Friday. So the average high temperature, 63.8 degrees, makes it the warmest on record. We are heating up. We're also going to deal with some severe thunderstorms that are in the forecast, not tonight, but this time tomorrow night, and then it is back to freezing. So coupled with those highs in the 50s, we have nighttime temperatures that are down at or below freezing. Tomorrow's forecast is 79 degrees. The record is 79 from 1948, so we're going to come close to breaking that. You can see the rain that's coming in here for tonight, and then we're going to wait for another line of showers and storms to develop out ahead of that front that is out to our west. So yeah, there is some wet weather around. I don't anticipate seeing a whole lot of it, but it may impact your evening plans because the time frame is from now until about 9, 10 o'clock tonight across the Triad. So let me show you where the rain is right now. Galax up toward Hillsville, down toward Ennis. You can see some light rain showers moving into Mount Airy and Dobson. Farther to the south and west, Wilkesboro, you've got a little rain, and it is heavier as you go up the mountains toward Jefferson. So here's the timeline. You can see 6:30 this evening starting to push into the Triad. By about 7, 8, 9 o'clock, it is moving to the east and then should be clearing out. At least the rain will be. We'll still have some clouds around overnight, and very early tomorrow we'll get set for round 2. As far as rainfall goes, kind of on the low side tonight. It's very light rain. Here's your forecast for tomorrow, and most of the day tomorrow is dry. It's warm, it's windy. We're pushing 80 degrees. We've got the gusty winds out there, 30, 35 miles an hour at times. Slight chance for a shower or storm in the afternoon, but I think most of it's going to hold off until dark. And then here's your forecast for the foothills, a high of 77 tomorrow with those storm chances coming in. They will arrive first in the mountains, so a shower or thunderstorm by late afternoon with temperatures in the low 60s. I showed you this map. Now let me show you what it is causing. Severe weather threat, that bullseye over Illinois, Indiana, down toward Louisville, Paducah, and then it's going to slide to the east. Wednesday, it stretches down as far south as northern Alabama, Mississippi, and then we are in that yellow area, which puts us in a slight risk for severe weather. So that means we're not looking at a widespread outbreak, but mountains, foothills, and Triad, there's at least a chance for isolated severe storms. And it looks like with this, our highest risk is going to be for damaging winds. We're going to have strong winds ahead of the front to begin with, but we may also have winds that come down out of those thunderstorms and cause some damage. So we'll be on the lookout for that. Again, the time frame is tomorrow evening into the late night hours. There is your 7-day forecast. Look at the cooler temps, 34 by Friday morning, and we are down to 26 by Saturday morning.
Checking traffic, this is a live look at Interstate 73 at Business 85. Right now in Greensboro, no major traffic delays to report. Smooth sailing out there. We'll be right back.
It is also Fat Tuesday, and the streets of New Orleans are filled with people, floats, and parades. A look at some of the traditions of the holiday and the story behind the king cake.
Also coming up, dreams take shape. How a world-famous dancer who lived and trained in Winston-Salem is now inspiring others to follow in her footsteps. You're watching WXII 12 News. Right now, high school marching band members are recovering after a man plowed his truck through a Mardi Gras parade in Alabama.
Happened this morning in the town of Gulf Shores as the parade was just getting started. Witnesses say it looked like the driver's foot slipped off the brake and onto the gas instead. A number of people were treated at the scene. 3, however, remain in critical condition tonight.
Switching gears here, it is Fat Tuesday in the Big Easy. This year's Mardi Gras celebration is coming to a close tonight in New Orleans and all around the country.
And today, thousands of people celebrated in the streets of New Orleans with parades and parties in the French Quarter. Many of these parade goers found their spots on the parade route long before the sun came up this morning, and all the parties will likely continue throughout the night and probably well into tomorrow morning as well. Mardi Gras celebrations also continuing right here in the Piedmont Triad. As we speak, Prime Time on Main is going on in High Point. Refreshments, live music, and other festivities that last until 7 tonight at the Regional Visitors Center. And we celebrated Mardi Gras in the WXI 12 newsroom today, sort of.
Speaking of refreshments, Brianna Connor went on the hunt for king cake and found this one. It's a bit of a cross between a coffee cake and a French pastry. Inside is a tiny plastic baby. The person who cuts into the cake and finds it, well, that person is named king for the day.
Better than being named baby for the day. Our assistant news director actually found the baby in our cake, so apparently he's the king around here. It also means he has to bring the refreshments next Mardi Gras. So clock is ticking, Mr. Neal.
Cake actually looks really good right there. What happened to the heels? Can Duke bounce back? And can Wake Forest finally get that signature win? We'll tackle all those subjects coming up.
Breaking news, more charges filed against the man accused of shooting a Guilford County deputy.
Donald Metter Jr. is now facing 2 counts of attempted murder along with assault with a deadly weapon and assault on law enforcement. Investigators believe he opened fire on Deputy Matthew Self and hit him several times during a lengthy standoff last night.
Janae Lewis is live in Brown Summit tonight where this all happened. And Janae, you've been talking to neighbors. What are they saying?
Yeah, I've been out here in the neighborhood and they are all just shocked by all of this. They've been coming by, checking on each other, seeing how everyone is doing. I spoke to one woman who's lived here for more than 20 years. She says she has never seen an incident like last night. Of course, what she is referring to is that nearly 7-hour standoff that you guys just mentioned. It started when Donald Metter Jr. called his wife home last night. When she got there, deputies say Metter told her she was going to die. He then called 911 and hung up. That's when deputies came. Investigators tell me his wife ran out as soon as they got to their home. Deputies say Metter then shot her and then fired at one of the responding deputies. The sheriff's department has identified that deputy as Deputy Matthew Self. I did have a chance to get an update on his condition. They tell me that he is improving. He's in stable condition now. They're just treating his wounds, making sure that he's going to recover okay. As far as Metter, investigators tell me this is not their first encounter with him. Coming up tonight at 6, we'll have a look at his violent past and those new charges he will now be facing. Reporting live in Guilford County tonight, I'm Janae Lewis, WXII 12 News.
Janae, thank you. As we continue to learn more about this deputy-involved shooting in Guilford County, be sure to download the free WXII 12 News mobile app. We'll have the latest information about the deputy's condition and the charges that suspect is facing.
In just a few hours, President Donald Trump will deliver his first speech to a joint session of Congress. The White House says the theme of the president's address is the renewal of the American spirit. He's expected to talk about strengthening borders and the military and a plan to repeal the Affordable Care Act. House Speaker Paul Ryan talked about the Health Care Act this morning on the Today Show, and he says Obamacare is collapsing and that Republicans are trying to keep that from happening.
See, we're not writing some bill in the back room in Harry Reid's office like Obamacare was written. We're going through the committee process. We're doing this step by step. We're having public hearings. We're having committees work on legislation. This is how the legislative process is supposed to be designed, not hatching some bill in a back room and then plopping it on the American people's front door.
Well, the president's address begins tonight at 9 o'clock. You can watch it right here on WXII 12 News. And because of the speech, there will not be a new episode of This Is Us.
Roy Williams has led North Carolina basketball to 2 national championships, 12 NCAA tournament appearances, and 390 victories and counting. But last night, his Tar Heels made the wrong kind of history. Chris Lee is here to explain. Good gracious, Mr. Lee.
I know, right? Anything can happen in the ACC. Nothing is sure. Nothing. Last week, Carolina looked like they were the best team in the conference, and Virginia was just trying to avoid losing 5 straight games. Well, we go to North Carolina, and they took on the Cavaliers yesterday in Charlottesville, and Tony Bennett's team held the Heels to their lowest scoring output under coach Roy Williams, 43 points, only 43. Carolina shot 35% from the field and gave up the ball 14 times. That's not going to get it done against Virginia's defense. The Cavaliers won 53-43. Right now, the Duke Blue Devils are just trying to get out of their own way. Tonight, the number 17 team will host number 15 Florida State. And back in January, the Seminoles beat the Blue Devils by 16 points in Tallahassee. But FSU isn't as good on the road. We'll also have to keep an eye on Duke's health. Grayson Allen and Emil Jefferson are both dealing with injuries, and it's unclear if they'll play at this time. This game tips off in Durham tonight at 7 o'clock. And if Wake Forest has any shot of going to the NCAA tournament, then tomorrow's game is a must-win. Number 8 Louisville will come to town to take on the Demon Deacons. Danny Manning's team has played 7 games against ranked teams this season, and they've lost all 7 games by an average of 9 points. That's water under the bridge for the Wake Forest squad. Their confidence level is at an all-time high before tomorrow's game.
I've been saying it all year. We can play with anybody in the country. It's just a matter of us closing out games, and that'll be still our thing going forward. I think we're going to go out there and play our game and play hard. And the result B may the result be, but we know we're gonna compete.
And Wake Forest will need to win tomorrow and this weekend against Virginia Tech, along with a good showing at next week's ACC tournament to give themselves the best shot to make the NCAA tournament. Chris Lee, WXI 12 News.
Chris, thanks so much. A former App State basketball player has skills off the court that he's taken nationwide.
Yeah, Josh Hunter, pretty talented guy. Have a listen.
When I get that feeling, I want a sexual healing, sexual healing. Oh, baby, makes me feel so fine.
I think Alicia Keys was impressed. I don't know. Hunter was the first performer during last night's blind auditions. You should see him shoot a free throw. For the new season of The Voice, didn't take long for all 4 coaches to turn around for him. He is from Georgia originally and played hoops for the Mountaineers from 2008 to 2010. Hunter ended up picking Gwen Stefani to be his coach for season 12, and even Glenn couldn't believe he picked her.
I think Alicia had the best reaction, though,
Absolutely,
overall.
yeah.
So the Voice blind auditions continue tonight at 8 o'clock right here on WXII 12 News.
Out there today, we have a fair amount of cloud cover. In fact, get used to the clouds. It's going to bring us some wet weather as well. Some showers, even some thunderstorms are in the forecast over the next couple of days. The temperatures have been trending up. We are 72 degrees out there this afternoon. Our normal high is 56. We're going to see temperatures close to 80 by this time tomorrow. We've got 50s in the mountains, 60s right now in the foothills, and low to mid 70s showing across the Triad. We're starting to see just a few sprinkles moving into the Triad. We do have at least a rainy window this evening, and then it'll move off to the east. So from Hillsville to Galax back towards Sparta, also filling in now over Wilkes County. That batch of rain will be moving through between now and about 10 o'clock tonight. So if you do have some plans, you've got a few showers to deal with. They'll become kind of spottier by later on tonight as temps will be in the low 60s. Now tomorrow evening, we have a chance for severe weather. We're under that slight risk for severe thunderstorms. Yeah, with the spring temps come the spring storms. Tomorrow morning, we've got wind gusts 25 to 35 miles an hour. It's a warm, windy day. Could see a spotty shower or thunderstorm by tomorrow afternoon, but the main line will hold off until after dark. We'll see that line of storms roll through the Triad between about 7 and midnight. And yes, we could see severe weather.
Lainey, thanks so much. It's time now to get you caught up on traffic as we head into that evening commute. We've got a live look at Interstate 73. This is a business 85 in Greensboro where you'll have no problems heading in that direction.
Well, we're going to take you inside a brand new bar opening up in the Piedmont Triad, but it's not ordinary. It's in honor of law enforcement, first responders, folks like that. How the folks behind it are using a working jail cell to help the community.
And tonight we wrap up our Modern Black History Makers series with the story of a world-famous dancer trained right here in the Triad. Why she says it's important for her to come back and continue impacting young people who want to create a career in the arts.
First, though, here's a look at how stocks finished today on Wall Street.
Today, Winston-Salem officers remember the life of an officer killed on the job more than 20 years ago. An honor guard is standing by the Fallen Officer Memorial in honor of Stephen Amos Jr. The guard will be on watch until 7 o'clock tonight. Amos was shot and killed back in 1995. And a new bar that honors law enforcement officers, firefighters, and first responders is opening in Winston-Salem this week.
And we got a look inside. It's opening right under Camel City Barbecue on North Main Street. There is a membership, and you need a code to get in. It's designed to honor all the men and women who've put their lives on the line and, in one instance or another, put on a uniform.
They love the atmosphere. They love going around and seeing the old pictures and recognizing the people that are in the pictures, bringing up the stories that those pictures tell.
There's also a working jail cell in this bar. The managers are hoping to use it in the not too distant future for lockup fundraisers.
Out there today, you see a little sunshine early on over Lexington, but the clouds are rolling in. We've got a warm, windy Wednesday in the forecast. We'll be back to tell you when freezing temperatures return. Coming up.
It is February 28th, and tonight we're wrapping up our Modern Black History Maker series with a story about a world-renowned dancer.
She's amazing. Dwana Smallwood lived and trained in Winston-Salem before her career took her as far away as South Africa. Brianna Connor joins us now to explain her impact on young men and women who want to mimic her moves.
Dwana Smallwood studied at the UNC School of the Arts and tells me that's where her dreams of dancing professionally really took shape. But much like her chosen art form, her dreams have developed and transformed over the years. Now her passion is for students, many of them sharing the same stage where Dwana first dreamed. This stage is where it all started for Dwana Smallwood. She knew dance was her calling before college, but the resources at the School of the Arts in Winston-Salem helped shape her desires into goals.
It was the only school I actually wanted to go to, and that was the only school I actually auditioned for.
She made the cut for UNCSA's program, then she made the cut for Alvin Ailey's dance company in New York.
I remember my teachers saying, "You with those Ailey arms, you're never gonna get an Ailey," you know, and I think it was trying to push me, and so I was like, I'm gonna work, and I got in.
After more than a decade with the company, her dance career transitioned. Smallwood says she became more of a creator when Oprah Winfrey invited her to head up the dance program at her Leadership Academy for Girls in South Africa.
Spent 4 years there that I cannot begin to even talk about because it was so life-changing and rewarding, and I could write a whole book about just those 4 years.
Now, almost 25 years after her time as a UNCSA student, Smallwood says it's important to come back to this place, mingle with her mentors, and share what she knows with current students.
I've been given gifts from my ancestors, the ability to dance and the ability to hear music and the ability to be creative with my hands and my mind and my ability to speak to young people and get them to recognize their own beauty. Then I have to pay that back.
She'll tell you she's a teacher, but the truth is she's a trailblazer. Smallwood was the second Black woman ever featured on the cover of Dance magazine, and now she has her own performing arts center in Brooklyn.
Well, I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm doing what I said I would be doing. I'm just doing my job as a human being.
And Dwana's next job doesn't actually have anything to do with dance, but it still lines up with her goal to make positive impressions on people. She tells me she's working on 2 books, one for kids and one for teenagers.
What an inspiration.
Yes,
and
I
so
learned
graceful, yeah.
She's a graceful person in her words and in her dancing, and I learned all of this when she came back here over the weekend for the winter dance concert for the school. So she really does make it a point to come back and support the school and the students there. So she's an inspiration.
We have a lot of people do that.
Favor.
Right, right. Or Miss Winfrey.
Miss Winfrey, sorry, my apologies. Yes, very good. Brianna, we've really enjoyed these stories. Thanks so much for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
All right, we want to transition just a little bit, talk a little weather. Check out this video from Seattle. Yes, friends, that's lightning hitting the Space Needle, and it was caught on camera. You know, you stick something that high up in the sky, better for it to strike that than buildings or something a little bit lower. That's why Mom always says, right, exactly. That's why Mom always says, don't hold your baseball bat up in the sky out at the ball field, kiddos.
Or the golf clubs.
Or, yeah, anything. Whew, man.
Boy, that's scary looking, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Cool from a distance. Yeah. All right, Laney's here with another check on the
forecast. Only a meteorologist says cool, right?
That's right.
Really
That's
neat.
Right. A lot of people wondering as we transition from one month to the other, spring will be here before we know it, what sort of severe threat, because it's not supposed to be this warm this early.
It's usually not. February's been extremely warm with a lot of 70-plus days. We've got another one tomorrow, actually close to 80 degrees, and we do have a line of storms heading our way, and there is a chance that we could see some severe weather. Folks like these folks up on top of the roof there of the Davie County Courthouse definitely want to be alert if there is any thunderstorm activity around. They probably won't be up there tomorrow afternoon because we have the risk for thunder, lightning, and yes, maybe even some damaging winds from that line of storms that rolls through. Here's your planner for Wednesday. We've got temperatures in the mid-70s, close to 80 degrees. That storm chance is late. Thursday, we're clearing out. We've got winds picking up, and the air is a whole lot cooler with temps in the 50s, and we're near freezing by Friday morning. This afternoon, 72 degrees. In the 40s out there this morning, so definitely warmer than the 30s we have seen. And you look at the month of February, we had an 80-plus day. We now have had 10 70-degree days, 7 50-degree days, 3 in the 40s. The average high is between 50 and 55 degrees during the month of February, so we have been way above normal out there. The temperatures right now are in the low 70s from Winston-Salem to Greensboro and Burlington. We've got 71 to 74 degrees, 69 in Yadkinville. You look at temperatures in the 50s right now in the mountains, 54 in Ennis and 53 in Galax. So here's what you can expect for tonight, and then as we look forward into tomorrow. We've got a few evening showers. The temperatures are going to be very mild. They'll drop down, bottoming out pretty close to 60 in the morning. Tomorrow, a windy, warm day with those temperatures really spiking. A line of storms comes in after dark tomorrow. Now that the sun is going down out there, what little sun we saw, we've got a few showers to deal with this evening. You can see just some light rain sprinkles starting to push into Winston-Salem, High Point, Kernersville. Northward we go up Highway 52 toward Mount Airy. You've got some light rain, more moderate to heavy rain that is moving into the mountains right now just west of Galax. And Wilkesboro also with a shower overhead. It's going to be very short-lived. In fact, this little axis of rain should slip through over the next few hours, and then we'll just have the clouds around. You can see out to the west where they are dealing with severe weather threat from Illinois down to Missouri into Arkansas. Severe thunderstorm watch boxes are out this afternoon. Our hour-by-hour forecast is going to take you through early tomorrow morning where we've got temperatures in the low 60s. As I step you through tomorrow, you're going to see most of the day is going to be dry. Those temperatures into the 70s. This is 3:30 tomorrow afternoon. By about 6 o'clock or so, we're looking for a line of storms to start to come into the mountains, drop down out of the mountains, and then cross through the triad. I'd say between 7 o'clock and 10 o'clock, probably the window for those storms to move into the triad, and then definitely moving out by midnight. We do have a slight risk for severe weather. That means we could see a few intense storms embedded in that line. Wind damage would be our primary threat from any storms that do develop. We'd like to get some rain, and at least in the short term, not much tonight, but we will add to that tomorrow. If you get under one of the heavier downpours, could see close to a half of an inch or more of wet weather. Here's your day planner forecast for Wednesday. We talked about warmth. We've talked about the wind. The time frame brings in a slight chance by tomorrow afternoon, but a better chance of storms by tomorrow night. 77 late tomorrow in Pilot Mountain, and our high temperature in Sparta is up to 61 degrees. Let's have a look at our extended forecast. This takes you into the weekend where you're going to find numbers that are cold. 34, 26, and 35. Those are the morning temps for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.